Here they're going after another person that Trump's angry over because of his first presidential term. They got Bolton. They got Comey, and who was the other one? It's Bolton, Comey, and there's a third one. Who's the third one? John Neocon? Yeah, yeah. Who's the third, like, first Trump administration official? Letitia James? Okay, not a Trump administration official, but like political enemy they're going after. Yeah, yeah.
We
This
have breaking
fucking guy.
news right here on CNN from our Caitlin Polans, who has been reporting on the possible indictment of John Bolton,
That's
the
an
former national
interesting
security
outfit.
advisor for President Trump in his first term. Caitlin, what do we know?
Casey, John Bolton, the former national security advisor to Donald Trump, a longtime federal government official, has been indicted.
Hold on. There are actually a couple of videos that I could choose to watch on this. And if I'm going to watch one of them, I'd rather one where the person speaking is a well-dressed Santa Claus.
You say that Bolton's indictment is like Comey's and James's because it's about revenge. But then you say that's where the similarities end. So why is this indictment different?
No, that's exactly right. That's exactly my view, which is, yes, this case would not have been brought but for Trump's revenge, because we know the Biden Justice Department declined to bring this case, quite likely to avoid burning the means and methods through which they extracted the Iranian intelligence, which is a valid governmental concern. I'm sure Iran, once that this leaked in August after the search warrant, has changed its method and probably made it more difficult for us to obtain those materials. But having said that, what we have now is, Bolton insisting that this is, purely revenge. That's clear.
It obviously is.
Breaking news this morning, moments ago, Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton, arrived at a federal courthouse in Maryland. He is facing charges of mishandling classified documents. Bolton, now a vocal Trump critic, says the charges are politically motivated.
Again, Trump really is our greatest ally in resisting fascism. He is both the greatest obstacle to and instigator of American fascism, Trump is burning a bunch of political capital going after his political enemies, but the enemies in question are people he just has a personal beef with. Like, Comey and Bolton are both nobodies now. They're completely irrelevant. They're out of the game. You could forget about them. They have no influence whatsoever on anything happening anymore. He's going after them. Letitia James, at least, is currently relevant, but why the fuck are you going after, like old neocons who aren't in power anymore? Insane.
But there are some key differences between Bolton's case and those against two other Trump critics indicted by the DOJ recently. CNN's Caitlin Polans
He's too petty and vindictive to do fascism
give us some sense of what you
properly.
saw this morning as John Bolton made his way to turn himself in.
It's
Well,
because
Sarah,
they know no one will care. But it won't work, man. These cases aren't going to go anywhere. There is absolutely no way Bolton and Comey headed the FBI. Do you really think he's not going to overwhelm the DOJ has been so incompetent in bringing their cases. They have no idea what they're doing, and they're going after like old, wealthy, politically experienced people who have legal teams. Like, these aren't going to go anywhere. It's just empty grudges. Remember that Truth Social post that Donald Trump made that was supposed to be a DM to Pam Bondi, which is a violation of the Presidential Records Act, by the way, where he was essentially saying, we need to start charging my enemies more. People are starting to think we're weak. They're just doing it to appease him. There's no broader strategies here. The cases don't need to be successful. It puts the target through hardship. But here's the thing. It really doesn't by that much. Like, these people aren't locked up in Rikers or whatever. They're already like politically adjacent. They're already loaded. If anything, if it gives the old men something to do, it gives them like a fun task to enjoy, But I mean, fuck, waste your time with this. Better this than them going after anyone actually politically powerful or influential, Do you think it pushes MAGA to be violent against them though? I don't know.
Say anything, not much at all, but John Bolton is here now at the federal courthouse. His lawyers are here, prosecutors are here. We're just waiting to see when a judge would take the bench for Bolton to have his initial appearance in federal court facing this indictment. The indictment, it's 26 pages long. And it is lengthy because there's so much detail about what John Bolton is accused of. 18 counts of transmitting or possessing classified information, national defense information that he shouldn't have had in an unsecured way after he was the national security advisor. Much of the detail in this indictment, Sarah, it is about what was happening in 2018 and 2019 when John Bolton was working in the Trump White House, taking notes of his day. He's a meticulous note.
Yeah, the DOJ has been staying losers. Holy shit, this is so funny. Woman acquitted of assaulting FBI agent after 3 grand juries declined to indict. Oh my fucking god. Is this also in DC? Yeah, this is in DC. DC grand jury, like this, if there's anyone whose safety I'm concerned for, it's the grand juries in DC, because these people, it does not matter what evidence you bring them. They're all like, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see shit. 3 grand juries failing to indict for assault against an FBI officer. Unimaginable, genuinely without precedent. I can't think of we're talking about like a level of grand jury non-compliance that you would expect from, like, I don't know, all white grand juries looking to indict white people who committed crimes against black people in like the the South in 1907. I mean, we're talking about like an unbelievable degree of motivated reasoning here. That's crazy. They had footage of the alleged assault and showed it to grand juries. They still refused to indict. God's strongest soldiers, man. These people. Maybe Antifa really is an organization. These indictments are also causing internal chaos in the DOJ. These idiot lawyers are filing these without even the knowledge of Bondi because they're trying to score points with Trump. They didn't even know about the Tish James indictment? Wait, seriously? That wasn't coordinated from the top? I didn't even know this. That was just some guy firing from the hip? Pam Bondi and other senior leadership of the Justice Department were caught off guard Thursday by news that the Trump-installed U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia had presented to a grand jury seeking indictment of New York Attorney Letitia James without consulting the DOJ. Without consulting the DOJ. Okay, sure. Yeah, why not? Why the fuck not? Notice me, Trump. Notice me. Maybe I can get a YouTube career going after I'm done being a federal attorney. Yes. I want to be on the TPUSA podcast. Oh, I want to sit next to the empty Charlie Kirk chair. Trump, notice me. Liberal fascism in action. No, this is grift fascism. Totally different. Grift fascism. This is you want a pure, Aryan Volk white ethno state. But only a little bit less than you want, like, anything that would get you a sponsorship deal, okay? You would sell all of this out for a chance to appear at TPUSA's Super Bowl, which, headlining alongside fucking Laura Trump or whatever. If people did this under Hitler, they would have killed you in the Night of the Long Knives. That's probably actually true. Yeah, that's probably actually true. If there were a bunch of Nazi officials being this incompetent and firing off the hip without consulting or strategizing with the party, they would 100% get got. Yeah, unbelievable.
Taker. He's a very hard worker, someone who was here even at the courthouse almost before it opened this morning. And he's a person then who was recording his notes into Word documents, and then those Word documents he was sharing with, allegedly, 2 family members that he shouldn't have been sharing with on unsecured email accounts, and then also having them printed out and kept in his house, which he was not allowed to do after he was National Security Advisor as well. Some of the detail here is very likely to be read to him in court when he makes this initial appearance today, Sarah. He would
maybe they're failing because they haven't called the ranks. Well, I would argue that to an extent, like, that's true. The only thing Trump valued when he made his appointments was loyalty. So competence wasn't even a consideration. In Trump's first term, there were competent people in his cabinet who did a lot of work. I wouldn't say it's good work. They're still evil. They're neocons, but they did work. They know how to do the work. Right now, Trump's only prioritizing loyalty, but loyalty and competence in his case are like inversely correlated. So I mean, you have problems like Pam Bondi has literally no idea what she's doing. Kash Patel has literally no idea what he's doing. It hamstrings these departments. Genuinely, like, it seems Kristi Noem and Stephen Miller, J.D. Vance, and to an extent RFK Jr. are the only people who are really like moving forward this arm of like Trumpian fascism with any kind of cohesion, you know? Not Hegseth, that's for sure. What about Marco Rubio? Yeah, I guess Marco Rubio as well. Yeah, Marco Rubio as well, for sure. Yeah.
Potentially have the opportunity to plead not guilty at this time. He does say he wants to fight his charges. He's accused Donald Trump of weaponizing the Justice Department against him for a political outcome.
That is true.
But some of the detail here that he will be told, very likely by a judge, is that he's accused of telling these people in his family that he wanted his notes to be saved for, quote, a diary in the future. Sarah?
That's great. Well,